When I tell you, I sat down and I had an intelligent conversation with this Pakistani man. We ended up staying that night together. My last video did so good. I don't know if it was because of the topic in my thumbnail, but I wanted to come back and also add some type of substance or value for you guys. Also, thanks for all the love on that video. I really appreciate each and every one of you. All the new subscribers. Oh my God, like I had 50 extra subscribers. Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. It's nice to meet you. I am Brittany. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad to be back. This is my second video. I'm filming this on the Saturday before my intended upload. So I hope I'm able to get this recorded and upload it on time because I want to upload every Sunday at 3 p.m. That's the goal. So I want to get into the video. Number one would be that I had a reliable listener. Throughout that time, I remember talking to Terilyn, my friend Nene, and Deborah. Those girls listened to me. It was so needed. Like, it was more than I could have ever asked for. Each girl offered their own type of way of being there for me, which was truly appreciated. I would never forget that they showed up for me during that time. But the one who actually had to listen to me and all of me because everybody else had kids was Deborah. Deborah was not aware of what was going on within my marriage at the time. She was out of the loop. I did not discuss my marriage and the things that went on in my marriage with anybody while being married. But once the divorce was filed, that's when, I started kind of telling people what was happening. And when I say people, it was my close friends. After I discussed certain things, she was able to offer me valuable feedback. And it was because she herself had been through a divorce as well. So she was a great shoulder to lean on, and Deborah didn't have any kids, so there was like no distractions in our conversations. And anytime that I wanted to talk, she was there to listen. So having that valuable friend, that reliable friend in your pocket that you can call on when you're like going through it or just need someone to talk to is so helpful. She had this deck of cards. They were like therapy cards. So what we would do is she would take out a card from the deck and she would ask me whatever question it was, and then I would go on and on and on about my feelings about the question, and she will offer insight or just try to comfort me in a sense. And I think that was so helpful. Now, if you don't have a reliable friend or you don't feel comfortable doing that, I will suggest also talking to a therapist, because in the beginning I was talking to a therapist as well, but I could only talk to my therapist like once a week, and that wasn't enough. Deborah was there all the other days that I couldn't talk to my therapist, but in the beginning, the therapist was there. We talked about it. I think my therapist was more so, there's only so much you can talk about in an hour, and I think she was a great listener. She was able to provide some insight. However, I do feel as if she was thinking like, well, girl, you made the decision, you made a decision. It's what you needed, it's what you wanted. And I know it's going to take some time to heal from it, but ultimately at the end, you're going to be okay, which was cool, but I needed to go through the motions as well. The second thing that I did was I journaled a lot. Like every moment that my brain became so foggy where I couldn't think, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. Like all I did was just journal to take the place of it. One thing that really made it interesting, because sometimes journaling can be quite boring. One thing that I did that made it interesting was I had a feels journal. Like I had a journal where I would pour out my feelings and what I was experiencing. But I also had a feel good journal, something that could possibly get my mind off of the feelings in a sense. I will say both journals started looking the same because my fun journal, I tried, but I noticed that a lot of times some of my responses in that journal, because it had prompts, a lot of my responses in that journal was just so negative. I think I want to read a little bit if I can, one from each journal. In my sad feels journal, I thought it was very important that I connected with my childhood, like traveling back to certain traumas that I experienced that could somewhat provide answers about why I am the way I am and what things that happened to me that may result in certain negative things about myself. So be easy on me. I'm gonna share. So I wrote childhood traumas, absent father, domestic violence, parentified, no voice, unhealthy mother and daughter relationship. And then for each of those, I kind of branched off and went in more detail. For the absent father, I said that I got attachment issues, anxiety style, or avoidant. Putting words to what I was experiencing and having an understanding of how it could affect me in who I am, how I show up in relationships was very important to me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm someone who looks for a why. Like I need to know a why. And doing this helped with that. Acknowledging it and accepting it and making a change. I will say that it wasn't easy. It was not easy recognizing the certain traumas that I've experienced. Everybody has their own things that they experience. There's nobody that's perfect. But being able to recognize my trauma also made me understand where my partner at the time or anybody could be acting in a way based off of their childhood traumas, and how you really do have to show people grace and try to understand. Now, you don't have to put up with it, but what you can do is just get a better understanding for your peace and sanity, you know? Let's see what else I wrote here. I said, anxious style happens when the attention and care is not consistent. Need to be reassured that I'm loved. Avoidance style happens when I was neglected emotionally by a parent, feel uncomfortable expressing my emotions and accepting love and affection from someone else. In my journal, I kind of just wrote whatever came to mind. So a lot of it may not make sense immediately, but when you think about it, I was just basically going into detail about or trying to make sense of what I was writing, what I was feeling. Next one would be domestic violence. Again, that comes from the list. And how it produced anxiety. It makes me withdrawn. Depression. I got depression from domestic violence that I witnessed in my household as a young girl. And how it ultimately allowed me to actually have an abusive partner. Now, my spouse who I divorced from was not abusive, but I have been in an abusive relationship. And it was something that I really thought just came with the territory of a relationship, when that is Not true at all. But being that I was raised around it, you know, yeah. Okay, so that was just an example of my feels book. I had to get out of that. This is my fun book. It is called I Am Freaking But Radiant. It's a self-care journal to help you ditch the spa days, quit the BS, and actually feel better. But that's what it says on it. This is supposed to make you feel good. Let me see if I can find a page that I completed around that time. So this is like part of the book. You can see that it's very fun and creative. This page says, write down a few things you don't like about yourself. Now, this is what it's supposed to be the fun journal. It's always something positive at the end. Of course, I wrote those things down. I said, I don't like that I'm so hard on myself. I don't like when I allow external factors to knock me off my throne, like relationships or marriages and stuff that just lets you down. I don't like that I procrastinate. I don't like that I struggle with responding in a calm manner. During that time, it got crazy. I got really agitated with a lot of things, and it wasn't the best way to respond. Some people need that love and tenderness, and I did not. Looking back at it, I don't like the way I responded to certain things. Can't change it, but I can change it going forward. And then at the end of that page, it said, this was a trick. Cross off whatever the you wrote because you love everything about you. So that's why I say that this is my fun journal, because every single page is something that makes you feel good about yourself instead of you sitting and dwelling in the sadness. Just want to share that with you guys. Number 3 would be I did nature healing. If you see me looking out to the side, I'm looking at my notes so I can stay on board because I can ramble. I remember taking walks, having picnics. Here at my complex, we have a gazebo area where there's grass and gazebos and stuff like that. I spent a lot of time out there journaling. I even spent time in the rain, which was so, it probably looked crazy as a stranger looking on, but it was so healing. It's something about being outside that is healing to the human being. So if you are going through something, I think the best thing for you to do is to go outside. And I know you probably heard this and you're like, yeah, but it really does make a difference. Trust me. Number 4 is I read books. The genre that I normally gravitate towards is self-help. But at the time, I didn't want to dwell in my sadness. I needed to get out of that. So I thought to myself, I love horror and thriller movies. I don't know what you guys like to watch, but as far as me, in this household, we definitely enjoy horror films and thriller, things that make our heart go, and I was like, if I love watching that stuff, surely I would love reading it, because I needed something different. I started reading horror and thriller books, and oh my goodness, that took so much time from being sad to actually doing something that I really enjoy. It took negative thoughts out my brain, the urge to contact, and it also gave like my friend a break from having to listen to me 24/7. So reading the books. Now, I did squeeze in a little self-help. I wouldn't be me if I didn't. But reading the books really allow me to escape. And I don't know about you guys, but when I read, it's like the movie plays in my head. So it just gave me the ability to escape what I was currently experiencing. So read the books. Oh, and if you would like any book reviews, if you guys are cool with book reviews, I would love, because I have at least two that I really enjoy reading, and that was like, oh my gosh, I just gotta hurry up and get to the bottom of this. If you want to hear more about those, let me know in the comments. Okay, so number 5 would be I text myself. Again, that was another way of keeping me from contacting the board, because I felt like I was taking up a lot of her time, even though she reminded me constantly, like, Brittany, you're fine. It's okay. I'm here for you. I still felt like I was doing too much. Like late at night when I knew I couldn't call her and I knew she had work or whatever, I would just text myself. I would sit down and text myself what I was experiencing, what I would have texted her, my ex-spouse, just trying to make sense of things. I was having like moments where I was getting clarity, and I didn't want those moments to pass me by. So what I would do was I would hear a quote, and then I would take the quote and just text it to myself. I'm gonna see if I can find one that I want to read. Give me a second. I text myself September 8th, 2023. I said, a lot of mentally young-minded people who has not sought growth outside themselves has not learned anything to serve others, but to serve themselves. They will avoid or shy away from learning anything that causes them to rewire their thoughts because it causes discomfort. So when I would have those aha moments, I would actually text myself so that I could, one, go back and reread it, or two, always have something to refer to if I am experiencing it down the line, or if I wanted to talk about it in a video like I am now. If you're here, sorry to interrupt, but go ahead and like this video for me. I want to get my likes up. Subscribe if you're new. But we're going to go ahead and go to the next one. Number 6 would be that I started dating for discovery. And it wasn't until I was ready and I was done crying. That's when I started dating. And I wasn't dating to feel like I needed to be in a relationship. I was dating to discover what it is that I wanted, because time had passed since I had been with anybody else. I think our whole ordeal lasted a total of 5 years. I needed to discover who I was again, and what exactly did I want from someone that I wanted to spend energy on, spend my time with. One of the best experiences that I experienced during this time, or during that time, was when I met this guy. He was from New York and he was in Atlanta visiting. He was an aviation technician, I think. He worked on airplanes. And there was some class that he was doing while in town. I'm not sure. But either way, we ended up setting a date to go out with each other. And I did not get spiffy at all. Like, I put on athletic wear with my hair gelled back with a Nike cap, and we went to this, I forgot the place because the date was just so good. When I tell you, I sat down and I had an intelligent conversation with this Pakistani man, and the stories, the experiences, like, he was so freaking interesting. He had story for days, and I had stories as well, but what I realized, like, the difference between our stories were his were like all over the place, all over the world. And they offered different emotions, you know. It was something that I had not experienced in a while. And we ended up staying at night together, and it was by accident because we talked so long. We talked until the restaurant closed, and we ended up walking outside to continue the date, you know, because we sat on the bench that was outside the restaurant and just talked for hours. And it wasn't until it was time to go, I realized that I didn't have my keys. My keys were locked into the restaurant that had already closed. And I ended up having to stay with him. I do want to do a separate story time for this because there's more to it. If you want to hear more of that story, let me know. Comment story time. And then I'll give a little short story time in the next video. I did realize during that date and many others that I went on that I'm really interested in someone who has struggles like myself and also didn't dwell on them. They actually conquered them and grew from it and have those types of stories to tell. I really appreciate hearing those types of stories and people who can face their fears and overcome stuff. So yeah, I really enjoy that, and I am attracted to that. People who got out the mud and made something out of nothing. I like that. Okay, number 7, childhood shows. I went back and I watched Girlfriends, I watched Martin, I watched Living Single. Those shows made me feel so comforting. Again, it also took up time. It allowed me to escape what I was experiencing. It allowed me to bite that urge to get on that phone and text or unblock. Like, sitting down and watching those childhood shows, laughing, realizing things that you didn't realize when you were younger, putting 2 and 2 together. You actually forget some of the things that happened during these shows. So, you know, making sense of it all with your adult brain instead of your child brain, like it did something for me. And I will say one of the characters from one of the childhood, like when I think of the childhood shows, I would say Now I Understand Joan from Girlfriends for sure. And Maxine from Living Single. That's my girl. She didn't care. Oh, I really enjoy watching those. Okay, so number 8 was that I started pouring into myself. And the way that I did that was thinking of what's something that I had been putting off and had not started yet. And it was actually my business. So I knew that I had marketing down pat, but as far as the graphic designing itself, I needed more experience with that. So I started teaching myself how to work Adobe and learn graphic design all on my own. I had already taken a course for it, but the course was more so book smarts. I needed hands-on. So being able to get into Adobe, learn graphic design on my own, and put together flyers and just build myself up to the point to where others recognize my work and my creativity and wanted me to do designs and flyers and websites for them. I really enjoyed that. And again, it allowed me to escape what I was experiencing. Although I had my moments, I will be honest and say I had my moments, but with everything that I just listed, I had so much that I could fall back on to keep me on track. The things that I listed are only for the betterment of me. Like, they wasn't hurting me in any type of way. So if I was taking my time and just dedicating my time and my attention to those things, then that meant that I was just making myself a better person at the end of the day. So I had the journaling, learning graphic design, reading, like all that stuff is good for you. Instead of just crying and thinking about what could have been, because that did happen in therapy. Actually, my therapist had told me, she was like, don't get me wrong, I know you loved her and you loved what you guys had, but I think you were more so caught up with what you had planned with this person and the outcome that you were hoping to get. So you were more caught up with, you were more in love with the outcome of your future with this person and how that would look. And I would say she was right, because another book that I had read during that time was a book that was recommended. I don't know the name of it, but it was a book. I'm going to look for it. I'm going to put it on the screen. But it was a book. It was like a self-test book that told you your top 5 top-notch characteristics about yourself. And one of the things that I came back high for was futuristic. So I'm always thinking about the future. I love talking about the future and where I may be, where I want to go, manifesting. Like, I love it. So when she said that, it clicked. Like, yeah, I definitely was caught up on what the future could look like with me and this person and where we would end up at. So this is just a bonus one that I want to use as a segue into my next video that I want to upload. But I became the partner that I needed. I became the partner. I became my own partner. And there was so many steps to that I don't want to add to this video. But the way I went about it would actually vary between person to person, because only you know what you need from someone and only you would know what that looks like. So I'm going to leave it here, and in my next video, I'll tell you what I did. You can take some things away from it, but at the end of the day, you might not want what I want as a partner. So I'm going to tell you guys what I did to become my own partner. We're here just to listen to the 8 tactics that I used to heal from my divorce. That will be the end of that video. I do want to insert a bonus portion, because I just kind of gave you a bonus. I want to address some of the comments that I received on my last video. Let's see, where am I? Kira Foreman. Hey girl, you said that I should have shown my bag that I made in Paris. I'm gonna show you my bag. Give me a second. Okay, so this is my indirect Chanel bag. So cute. I wanted to keep it classy. There were so many fabrics that you could choose from. But I chose the black, just the natural tweed black. Black is my favorite color, so of course that makes sense for me. And then they had it to where you can like pick out different charms. And these are the ones that I picked. And you could pick out your own chain. And the inside, now I have not carried this because I treat it like a souvenir, but the inside is really well made. I have it stuffed with balled up paper so that it can keep its shape. I'm gonna throw it out. So I'm gonna throw it out, but I'm gonna put it back in there when after I show you this. So much. But I ball up paper like this to put in bags that I want the shape to sustain. Ooh. But you got to pick out like your own inner type of, let me see. I don't know if you can see it. But place, I don't know if I'm showing it, if not, but it says handmade in Paris, France. It has the inner zipper here. I don't know if I'm showing it right. Amore made a purse as well. I'm gonna have to insert a picture up in here for her because Amore overly loved her purse and she was wearing it so much it started to look worn. W-O-R-N, worn, down, worn. Anyway, the next comment I would like to address is Yoli Olivia. She said, ma'am, what blush is this in lip gloss? Make up these, please. Now, I would tell you guys straight up, like, I don't consider myself as a makeup guru. I think I on my channel so far only have like one video with makeup. And that's on purpose because I don't feel as if I have the right setup to actually sit up and do makeup and try to talk to you guys at the same time and have the perfect lighting. And also, I keep my makeup really basic. I do the same thing each and every time. But I do have makeup deets that I can share with you in this video. So, and also, and it came at the perfect time because when you left that message on my video, I also received another message from a client who asked me, like, she said, what kind of makeup do you use because your face is always flawless? And this is the kicker. I really don't focus on makeup, you guys. And I think that my makeup looks the way it does is because I really focus on skincare. Like, makeup is cute, but skincare is what's more important to me. If you want more information about my skincare routine, I can definitely give you that. But since you asked about makeup, I'm going to tell you what I use. Again, skincare is what's important. Because your bare face is just the canvas. So you want to make sure your canvas is right before you go and add stuff onto it. That's what I started focusing on when I started getting heavy into makeup. I was like, you know, I don't want to put makeup on bumps or anything. So I want to make sure I take care of my skin. The way that I do take care of my skin, for one, is I don't wear makeup often. I rarely wear makeup. The only time that I do wear makeup is if like I'm going on a date or if I'm going to be taking pictures or if there's an event or something. But every day that I'm in the house, again, because I work from home, I'm not wearing makeup at all. And today I put on makeup for my YouTube channel. But for starters, I start with this. This is the Makeup Milk Hydro Grip Primer on my face. To me, this makes my face like sticky and ready to accept the makeup, to keep it on, okay? And then I go in with this NYX Shine Killer on my face. To me, this makes it more smooth and accepted, and it takes away the shine. Although you still see shine, it's because my skin is naturally oily. This helps me not look like a grease monkey. So I put this on, okay? So next, what I do is I add my concealer. Now, I don't have to show you. I use LA Pro concealer, a lighter color than my skin. And I just put that under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, on my chin. And I just pat that in, okay? I follow that with a contour. When I contour, I use a darker shade of makeup that I normally use for my overall face. And for that darker shade of makeup, this is it. And you may say, what the fuck is it? This is Tom Ford foundation that I received as a gift a while back. and it was actually darker than my complexion. So I said, instead of throwing it away, I am going to use it to contour my face. So I do like a stripe here, as you can see, the darker area here on this side, and then I come down here with it. I go on the side of my nose with it using a little small brush, and then I also go around my perimeter when that's out, and I just blend that in. After that, to make everything look like skin is when I use my regular foundation, and I put that on top of everything that I just told you that I do. To me, that gives, I have on makeup, I'm not trying to do too much, I don't want to look overbeat, I want my skin to look like skin. I use and I've been using this forever, this is the MAC Studio Fix NW48 for my complexion, but you can go and get matched to see what you need as far as your complexion. But I use this powder foundation all over my face. After that, I spray my face with this Ultra Matte Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Matte. Now this is a setting spray, and this is a setting spray that I've been using for a while now. It makes my face, it makes me not look so shiny, but still realistic, okay? So I sprayed this on my face, and then that's when I go in, after I let that dry, because you have to let it dry. After I sprayed it on my face, I go in with my blush. And the blush that you were asking about is also a MAC. I'm an old school girly, and I learned how to do my makeup off of YouTube, and I followed OG YouTubers. So my products are not any, well, I do have some new ones, but my majority of my products come from the old school days, and I live by them. The old school girlies knew what they were talking about. This is the MAC. Let me see if the name is still on it. Sweet as Cocoa. And I remember watching Style by Fash. This is one of the ones that she had recommended for her skin color, and we were about the same. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. So Sweet as Cocoa is what I use for my blush. I also have a highlight right here, but a highlight can be whatever you want it to be. I use a gold peachy highlighter to just give that sparkle, if you can see, like a gold peachy highlighter for my skin tone. I don't know what you look like. I don't know if you're a chocolate girly like me or a caramel baddie. I don't know, but make sure your colors work with your skin tone. As a chocolate girl, deeper, moody colors work best for my skin, so I pay attention to that. So you will see it on my cheek, and you will see it on my eye as well. Now, I didn't use this for my eye, but the color that I use is similar from my eye palette. My eye color palette has deeper shades in it that goes well with my skin tone. So you got to do what works for you. What I use that is new, that I love, that I got from the TikTok girlies was, okay, so we went in with the first setting spray. The second setting spray is after I put on my blush. And this is the second setting spray. It is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Love this down. It smells good when I spray it on. It gives that airbrush look. It brings my skin to life because I'm wearing powder. Remember, I'm putting on powder, and sometimes powder can look really cakey if you're not careful. So this takes care of that. All right. So then I let that dry. I do my lips. I do like a regular liner, brown liner, chestnut, got that from MAC as well. And then the Viva Glam 2 Rihanna combo collab that she did with MAC. I still have that, and I'm about to run out. I don't know if it's there still, but I use that. And then I top it off with the Fenty Beauty from Rihanna's Fenty Beauty. I'm struggling. Rihanna's Fenty Beauty. I top it off with this lip gloss. Fenty Glow Heat. Gloss Bomb Heat. Okay, so the Fenty Glow Heat 03. I top it off with this. That's what I put on my lips. And that's normally my little combo for my lips. If I do anything differently, it's always lined with Chestnut by MAC. The only thing that I do really change up is the lip gloss. And it's just basically, because I try not to take this anywhere because I don't want to lose it. So whatever lip gloss that I have around, you know, I just kind of put that on. But my base is almost the same, always the same. So after that, and I know that I'm finished, when I'm done with my makeup, I go in with a third setting spray. Learn this from the YouTuber girls. Now this one is different from the wet ones. I call those the wet ones, the first two that I'll show you. This is my third one. This is like an aerosol, alcoholic matting setting spray. And I just feel like this locks everything in. And it gives like flawless to me. So if anything, what you take from this is use setting spray throughout your process of applying your makeup. I don't want you to go out and go spend money that you need to save, because I'm not this ultra consumer person over here. Instead of you going out to spend money that you need to save, I say invest in your skincare, making sure your skin is well taken care of, and the setting sprays, because it kind of works with whatever makeup formula you already have on your face. So it's gonna set it and it's gonna make it look like skin. But yeah, and you guys, this is extra because you know I can ramble. I did my hair, right? I did my hair just for this video, thinking that I wanted to give a different look from my last video, and it did not turn out right. And that's just me being transparent. That's why I put this scarf on. Thank goodness that I ordered it from Amazon. This is really cute, by the way. I bought some cheap little hair to keep from using my expensive hair that I like to use. I didn't want to cut my bundles. I like to have those sewn in. And I like to use those when I go to a beautician. So I went and bought some little cheap behind bundles from the beauty supply store. And I was like, I'm going to put this in and, you know, give a little middle part bust down type of look. Oh my gosh. I can't do my own hair anymore. I used to can do my own hair, but now I can't. I got to get my hair done. I can do Amora's hair and it looks good. But for me, and the quality of hairstyle that I want and what I want to give, I'm gonna have to go back and start getting my hair done, for real. So yeah, it didn't turn out right. It didn't blend as good as I thought it was going to. But it's been a while since I straightened my hair, so that may be the case. But it just did not work. But I slid this little scarf on, and I think that it gave me a look. I want to show you this look with some shades, like something you guys can pull off during the summer. Like if you can't do your hair and you want to look cute, you want to do something that's like serving, I'm gonna show you this look. Hold on. Okay, so of course we're starting with a light cute beat, nothing too much, because I never go overboard with the makeup, okay? But think of like having your hair, even if it's like a little bob, like I can see it. Like I'm gonna get my hair cut in a bob. I love a bob. I've had it cut before. It's time for it, because I haven't had it cut in years. But a little cute bob with a scarf that's inexpensive from Amazon and some shades. You guys, look. Like, is that not a look? Is that not serving? That is so cute to me. And it's not too much. It gives chill girl. I think it gives mature for our age, but still, you know, like I might be in my 30s, but I can still bring it, still hot. Now I'm a fanatic when it comes to shades, so I have different options. Let me show you. I like these yellow ones. I have been looking for some like this for a long time before I found these, and I found these at a gas station. Oh, I'm working with one hand here. Now, tell me, is that not a look? It is so simple. Just having your hair, a scarf, the sunnies. I love this look. And I've never worn it outside. Like, I did all this for the video, but I've never worn a look like this outside. I need to, though. It goes very well with what I like to give. All right. All right, last pair. Again, I love shades. I really do. I love them. These glasses were hunting me. These shades, they look like glasses, but they are slightly tinted. They were hunting me all over Facebook last year or a year before. I don't know. But I had to buy them because I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? These, I don't know if you can tell, but they have the slight little tint of color. Oh my gosh. Now these were a pretty penny. Let me see. Where did I get? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna put the name of where I got these from. I think they were like $100. Normally for my shades, I don't spend over, well, I don't know. I will splurge on certain shades. Certain frames I will splurge. But majority of my shades cost around $15 or under. But these are so cute. I love these. I love this look. It goes well with the scarf, even with my light yellow. Like, can you see it? Anyway, that's just an option. Something to do during the summer if you want to keep it cute, fresh, and fun. Get you a scarf, tie that hair up, because we're not perfect beauticians out here, and the economy, let's get into it, the economy is making it to where we got to learn something at home. And baby, if it's this and I'm covering it up and all I got to do is put on some shades, that if that's what it's gonna take, that's what it's gonna take. That's what's gonna get me by. Like, I'm fine with that, but I do want to go and get it done. I do. Well, I'm sure I've taught you guys ears off because I can keep going. Let me know in the comments, again, if you guys want to hear that story time. If you have any tips as far as in healing after a divorce that I may not have mentioned that was very helpful to you, leave that in the comments for viewers. And what else? If you guys want me to go into detail about my book recommendation, I think it was like 2 that I said I really liked and that I could give like a little synopsis on. So yeah, what am I supposed to say? Like, comment, and subscribe. Again, thank you guys for all the love that you gave me on my last video. It really felt good coming back and know